A very good evening, a warm welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha and Mukono. On sign language, we started with State House Presidential Special Task Force of Land Matters and Environment, led by Brigadier General Retired Moses Luchamuzi, has halted all activities being done by Ebenezer Real Estate Company on a contested piece of land in Mukono district, whose ownership wrangles are currently before court. Joel reports.
The contested piece of land, which measures 5 acres, is located on Block 113, Plot 1570 in Nantabulirwa village, Seta Mukono, which a Lady Josephine Nakandi claims to have bought at different intervals. But due to the ownership wrangles involved, she is only left with 2 acres only.
Because of land grabbers, I bought this land where we are in 2013 from a certain man who is still alive, but after some time, a group of men or company called the Ebenezer Real Estate, they came on my land and started grading it. After that, now they marketed my plots into smaller plots of 50 by 100. I hear they even started selling. So the case is in court, but for them they started selling. I don't know why.
It's on these 2 acres that Nakandi was left with that she claims Ebenezer Real Estate Company tried to repossess fraudulently.
We have been contacted by one Nakandi on allegation that the management of Ebenezer Company dealing in property and real estate are trying to grab her land. From our allegation that her title was archived by the land office, and by current survey, the proprietors of Ebenezer are the owner of this land. So as a State House unit, we decided to team up with sister units, police and other units, to carry out investigations and ascertain the truth about the sale.
Nakandi accuses the proprietors of Ebenezer Real Estate Company of conniving with officials in the Ministry of Lands to archive her original land title for the contested land and reproduce a new title on the same land for Ebenezer Real Estate Company with the sole aim of stealing this land from her. It's against this background that Nakandi, through her lawyers, decided to run to court for redress to rescue her piece of land, which she purchased with her hard-earned money.
For now, let all activities, development activities, be halted until the matter is finally investigated or determined by courts of law.
What have you found on ground?
We have found barbed wires and some holes showing that certain individuals were trying to fence off parts of this land, but we could not trace them. They ran away, and it is very unfortunate.
Despite the ongoing court processes, Ebenezer Real Estate Company is accused of putting up buildings on the contested land, which has prompted the State House-based Presidential Special Task Force on Land Matters and Environment to stop all developments on the said land after visiting the site where they confiscated barbed wire that was used to fence the site as exhibits after the workers on the site took off. The task force officials asked the village LC1 chairperson, the parish chairman and the area parish internal security officer not to allow anyone to trespass on this land unless they secure a court order.
Akoze bulungi nti atulambise bulungi nnyo omukyalo oyo engeri gye yafunamu obwannannyini bw'obwettaka era nga n'atusaba nga ffe abakulembeze tubeere nga twetegereza abantu bano abajjanga ku mataka baleete ebiwandiiko tusobole okukolagana nabo.
Embeera y'emu yakubeera nti waliwo yagula ettaka ate bw'amala okugula ettaka ate ne bamulaga nti talina kyaguze ate nga ettaka lirimu baliguza abalala.
Meanwhile, the area leaders have decried the actions of Ebenezer Real Estate Company in their area, which have caused more harm than good to their residents.
Now listen, State House does not give land. State House does, if anyone will have any issue, you go to court. Okay? Why does someone go to State House if there is a court, if they have a genuine case? Why should I go to State House? Does State House
Tragedy struck Wakiso district Saturday morning as a section of KCCA's Kiteezi landfill collapsed, engulfing over 50 homes and claiming multiple lives. Scores have been confirmed dead following the mass west slide that happened in Lusanja village in Kiteezi sub-county, Wakiso district. Justin Nakano reports.
This catastrophic event occurred early this morning around 7 a.m. in Lusanja village located in Kiteezi sub-county, Wakiso district. According to primarily police findings, at least 8 dead bodies have been recovered from the debris of the garbage sludge. The rescue operation is ongoing, with authorities fearing more victims could still be buried. Among those affected is Womali Kalule, who has tragically lost 7 family members in this disaster. So far, 3 bodies of his dead relatives have been recovered, but Kalule is pleading with the government to increase manpower to expedite the evacuation process.
Mama abadde awonye ate naddayo mu nnyumba okunona abazzukulu n'abaana be takomyewo. Abazzukulu 3 n'abaana be 4. Era afiiriddeyo omwana wetu akafunako omu n'abazzukulu 2.
Another victim, Namata Jacqueline, who lost 4 family members, attributes this to corruption within the country. She expressed her anger, stating that despite promises, the affected families were never resettled due to corruption.
Awantu wano bali mu programu egulawo. Okitegeera naye bw'ogamba abantu wange nti tundawo miliyoni meka nti 5 oba 10. Oli bwatuuka eri waggulu ateekako nti zibadde miliyoni 10 ameka. Gavumenti ne balyamu ssente ezo nga nki mpitirivu ze tusabye ne banne babivungavunga binne biremesebwa. Ekiro mene wayonga kituuma ttaka ne bongera kituuma ttaka naye nga kyajjula balina okugula awantu abantu ne bavaawo kubanga ffe twalina buzibu kuva wano. Ffe twalina buzibu tulaba enkulaakulana wejja awantu muvaawo. Nenaffe twali tugambye baba batugula batukole ki batugule era nga nze ngamba batugula ddi tweyongereyo tugende tugule yewala naye katumaze fiirwa abaana baffe tumaze fiirwa abaana ennyumba esirikiddemu abaana basirikidde omwo naye nga kiva ku nguzi.
These voices are just a few among the many who have lost loved ones in the west collapse at Kiteezi landfill.
Abantu bali wansi kasasira ali wache ali waggulu funyo katinga bo batadde ku bulamu bw'abantu mu bunkenke era nga kibaddewo kibadde baagala naye nyongera okubira gavumenti omulanga sigenda kukoma wano ku bulamu bwa mama wange n'abantu bange bonna nja kuba mukambwe ennyo kubanga nga nfuna obwenkanya.
Mama afiiridde muganda wange mwali n'abaana 8 banneyiba abaana 5 bafiiridde munda abantu tetubala nti 20 oba 3 wabula tubala abantu abali mu 10 kuba kubaddeko rental house nga ze zisinga emizigo gibadde mingi gya kumukumu abantu bonna bazikiridde baweddewo.
So far, police have confirmed 8 fatalities, but rescue efforts continue as more people are feared to be trapped.
So far, we have retrieved the 6 dead bodies. Before us reaching here, the locals had rescued 3 people alive, but we are going to trace them where they are, the various clinics that they were taken to, and we have also rescued 1 dog alive. So far the rescue mission is ongoing. We shall stay here until we see that all the dead bodies are retrieved.
State Minister for Disaster Preparedness, Lilian Abel, while at this site, stated that government has begun preparations to resettle those surviving victims and their families.
Local leaders will sit down and agree where these people can temporarily be relocated, preferably whether it's school, where there is security or any open land, but we have to get where they can go.
Deputy Executive Director of KCCA, David Luyimbazi, also gave a statement regarding KCCA's stand on the matter.
But of course, it's time ya kunenya muntu yena. Ebitalo bibaddewo kati sawa ya kuza kulaba nga tunula abantu abasinga abakoseddwa amangu dalanga kisoboka. Then after that, tulabanga tutangira abantu okusembera landfill.
The politicians who showed face at this collapsed landfill had this to say about the whole incident.
Tulina okuvaayo kati mu kiseera kino ne twenyanyamula ne tuyingira KCCA ne tukola ebintu bino. Kasasiro byasigaddewo nakatuliwa ne sawa enakola pusinga nabika amayumba gano. Bino bize balaba enyanfa ezibadde mu kasasiro ebyo babadde nga baziraba nenga tebatekinga step.
The rescue operation is still ongoing until all those allegedly buried by the garbage sludge are found. Justine Nakami, UBC News, in Wakiso District.
Thank you so much, Justin Nakami, and we pray that the Lord strengthens all those families that have lost their loved ones. In more stories, as the country mourns the death of at least 8 people who perished in the Kiteezi landfill slide, residents have long complained of hazardous waste from the site polluting the environment and posing a danger to the surrounding community. Sadam Mubale gives us a full report.
Kiteezi landfill was established and gazetted in 1996 as Kampala's sole garbage dumping site. The landfill receives on average 633 tons of municipal solid waste per day and is delivered to the landfill by official KCCA collection trucks, in addition to another 311 tons per day delivered by private collection companies. Therefore, the overall daily amount of solid waste received by the Kiteezi landfill is 946 tons, totaling to 70,710 tons per month. Seated on 35 acres, the landfill has served as Kampala's sole garbage dumping site for decades and had turned into a humongous hill. Residents have long complained about hazardous waste from the site, polluting the environment and posing a danger to the people.
Egocho obuntu obo ne bukutuka kati ndoza nayo nobanga yigwe akiraba nayo okikola ki osigabye nti ensonga eyabali gye bakola yevudde mu kaki segeza nti kyetagisa ekintu ekikuma baba bonge dala osima ekinya.
But what happened was a result of activities of waste pickers. People were picking up waste bottles, trying to convert them into valuable material and sell them in the market. Now we don't know what equipment they were using to weaken the sides of the dump slopes. So early in the morning, 7:30, there is a landslide. Okay, of course, with rain weakens the properties of any structure.
In the 2023-2024 budget, Kampala Capital City Authority allocated 4.1 billion shillings for maintaining the Kiteezi landfill. But at the time of the landslides, the state of the landfill was deplorable, with authorities saying they were in plans to shift to another dumping site.
They ridiculed our proposal, our message about decommissioning Kiteezi. They just dismissed it as just a political gimmick. They were saying those ones are just politicking. They put a stumbling block in the way of implementing our proposals of having the waste to energy policy being implemented so that we decommission Kiteezi.
Okay, we've known that Kiteezi reached capacity about 9 to 8 years ago. Now, once it reached capacity, we began purchasing new plots of land adjacent to it so that we can continue to dump. This is in order to protect the communities around, because we knew the higher you go, the slopes become steeper, so the threat of landslides increases.
Residents also accused the authorities of failing the compensation program that would see them vacate the landfill area.
Government eyagala ko beleba wango omuntu yagula milioni 5 mwa milioni emu kitegeeza ebe kudondola omuntu obo muziza mu kyalo omuntu yagulawo emyaka 10 mabega nagula milioni 5 kitegeeza abantu wako walina kubanga wakuze omu milioni 4 agenda afune wakola ki wagula toswaga nti we nagula milioni 5 emyaka 10 mabega kakati njatunda milioni emu.
Ekiromero wayonga kituma ttaka ne wanga kituma ttaka naye nga kyajjula balina okugula awantu abantu ne bavaawo kubanga fe twalina buzibu kuva wano. Fe twalina buzibu tulaba enkulako nawe ejja wantu muvaawo nenaffe twali tugambye baba batugula batukole ki batugule era nga nze ngamba batugula ddi tweyongereyo tugende tugule yewala naye katumaze fiirwa abaana baffe tumaze fiirwa abaana ennyumba esirikiddemu abaana basirikidde omwo naye nga kiva ku nguzi
Right now, the truth is our people who are here can see that a heap of this rubbish, deposited here is dangerous, so you must leave the place. And besides the interactions that have been ongoing, people need to agree and the leaders must provide guidance. You can't say, stay, this is your land, but you're seeing there's risk. And I can tell you, I'm not throwing blames, but there are people who had accepted to evacuate this place earlier on, others did not accept.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Thank you so much, Sadam Mubali. 2 people have died on the spot and another injured following a motor accident in Kachwamba Ward Central Division, Fort Portal City. The accident occurred when a speeding Toyota Harrier registration number UBD 9264 knocked a woman dead before losing control and knocking dead, killing 2 children across the road. 1 other victim was severely injured and rushed to Fort Portal Referral Hospital for treatment. The deceased have been identified as Bridget Mugisa Stephen, 12 years old, and a 10-year-old Ategeka Emmanuel, all residents of Kachwamba in Fort Portal City. Eyewitnesses attributed the accident to overspeeding as police investigations commenced. By press time, police was yet to issue a statement on the actual cause of the accident. I beg your pardon. The Kyangwali land wrangle has resulted in a dire situation after over 10,000 residents were forcibly evicted from 64 square miles of land in Kyangwali sub-county, Kyangwali district. The evictees are living in desperate conditions, lacking basic necessities such as healthcare, education for their children, and assistance for women that are about to deliver. Their displacement has led to significant distress, with many describing their situation as hopeless.
During a visit by the State Minister of Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, to address land issues in Burisa and Kyangwali districts, residents expressed their grievances. Sanyu James, a local leader, voiced his shock and despair over the eviction, noting that even court orders and directives from the president to return the residents to their land were disregarded.
By the way, if your neighbor's house is on fire, next is yours.
Kyangwali Residents District Commissioner Amran Tumusime warned that the land disputes in Bunyoro Kingdom are a time bomb and criticized the promotion of those involved in the evictions despite the president's order for their arrest.
So no had no land. If he's given 2 acres, he goes freely because he had no land. He was working for his master. But the very owner of that land was not given. These are the people you are seeing here. And they are in thousands. So to me, I have been saying this, I will continue saying this. Officials in the office of the Prime Minister are known who have made these people suffer. The president in 2016 had even directed they should be arrested, but they were instead promoted.
Fiona Barungi, the senior presidential advisor on general duties, was moved to tears as she expressed her disbelief at how Ugandans are being treated.
Nibo bakubaho bati empungi nizo zikubaho ziti so magara ganje nanta kumanya ngo ari umunya Uganda uri kubasa kubaha hati nati na nagira obo konko mboba bwanje ni manyango rahangaraho kandi rahanga nayamba bakukumisiriza.
In response, Dr. Sam Mayanja assured the residents that he would closely follow up on every issue and document related to the land dispute. He pledged to ensure that justice is served and that the displaced residents are eventually restored to their land.
Their land. He did it in writing. The delegation went to him. And the people were directed. I think it's the Prime Minister's office. Now, why have they not implemented? Why? I think journalists must ask this question, much as I'm asking this question. But now, as Minister of the President and his senior personal assistant who have been here and the RDC, we have agreed we are going to get a memorandum. We are properly written. They are very fluent as we've heard them. Get it properly, and we shall sit with her and we'll see how to present to the President. By way of reminder that your instructions have not been implemented.
The affected areas include 28 villages from Kasonga Parish and 27 villages from Kyangwali Parish. For UBC News, I'm Charity Nahawe and Jamil Sekaja.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Take 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Take 10. Sports Take 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
We'll come back from that short commercial break. Now, local leaders in Teso sub-region are advocating for the continuation of micro projects in the area, highlighting the significant positive impacts these initiatives have had on the community. Their appeal follows an announcement by the Minister of State for Teso Affairs, Dr. Kenneth Ongalo Bote, who revealed that these projects will be phased out as funds are being redirected to the Parish Development Model Project.
Over 10,000 people in Teso sub-region have benefited from micro-projects since the Ministry of Teso Affairs was established as an affirmative ministry 13 years ago.
I received my cow, so I started, it was small. So far I have 4 cows, but I'm waiting for, by the end of this year, there will be 5 5.
Those overseeing the implementation and monitoring of these projects have reported a substantial positive impact on the local community.
Some of them are doing goat rearing, some of them are doing sheep rearing, and some of them have sold some of the goats to pay school fees for the children, but they still have. At least it's doing something, and I'm seeing the lives of our people is changed.
Despite the success of these projects, local leaders are now urging government to reconsider and extend them within the region.
They target specific groups and also specific community-driven initiatives. Yeah, so I would see it as still extremely relevant, and even if we were phasing it, it should be gradual, probably in the next 5 years or so.
However, their hopes were dampened when the Ministry of Test Affairs confirmed the discontinuation of these projects.
Our budget gets smaller and smaller, so some of the programs that we used to engage in, we are having to discard them now. And this one in particular, I think this is now the last block who will benefit from it, because realistically, you know, if we continue with this program, we are duplicating what PDM is already doing.
This announcement coincides with Kaberamaido district receiving 60 million shillings as the financial installment of funds allocated for these initiatives.
We want money, value for money, so they should buy the goats, they should buy the sheep, they should use that money exactly on what is supposed to be used for.
Beneficiaries of these funds are now turning to goat farming as a potential means of improving their livelihoods.
In future, they will help us to pay the school fees for our children. 2, they will improve our income in our family. 3, the level of our being will also improve.
Oko Joseph, UBC.
Uganda fire! Endiba fire! Our border fire!
Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! Has Nambole Stadium opened its doors once again? While you were moving in wet, you were the 12th player. When Uganda Cranes needed you the most. Through our famous wins against Tubakunda and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder. Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
In our sports stories, Uganda's national athletics team coach Njia Benjamin has applauded Uganda's team in the Paris 2024 Olympics marathon and blamed the failure to attain a podium finish to a number of factors. Uganda's best performer was Victor Kiplangat in the 37th and Andrew Kwemoy in the 62nd, while Stephen Kise didn't finish. Take a look as John Van Sentema reports from France.
Yeah, the marathon went on well, as all Ugandans witnessed. All of us had a lot of hopes in the boys today, but all did not go well as expected. But of course, that's the sport. That's the sport today. It is winning tomorrow. So, of course, the athletes, I think the way they responded to the coast, to the weather conditions in the morning, I think didn't favor them. But that's the sport. Today you lose and tomorrow you win. So I want to encourage all our Ugandans to still rally behind the remaining team, the women's team tomorrow. So that we can also have a better result. But that's a sport, so we hope our boys will come back and bounce back strongly amidst such a challenging moment for us. Yeah.
And that's all we had for you in this hour. Do join me again later on at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Mugalu Muhammad on Sign Language. Stay tuned for more programming on UBC TV, Inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.